Hi, my name's Weihua Huang, and I'm a puzzle constructor who is about to launch a new series of puzzles in the new New York Times Magazine, the new revised, thicker edition. And for the Number Play blog, I've been asked to show you guys what creating an original Nurikabe puzzle is like. So, usually we have a small grid for the Times. Nurikabe puzzles can be of almost any size, but we try to keep it small for the Times readers. And for this, every puzzle sort of needs an initial hook to sort of get the solver in. And the hook I always sort of like, I'm going to try for this puzzle is to have the little cross, an island that's this little cross of 5. So the way this works is that we usually put a little number, I have a number here that's a 5. I want to try to get the solver to realize that, hey, this has to go into all 4 of these corners. And actually, I think I've done this trick in the book, in my book with Will. So I'm going to do a slightly different trick, which I'm going to put the 5 on the edge of the cross, just to give the readers a little bit something extra tricky to play with. And then we're going to sort of create this nice symmetrical arrangement around the cross of these 4 spots like that. The reason is that these 4 spots sort of block in the 5 because 2 islands can never touch each other. After all these adjacent spots for these 4 numbers are, that the 5 is restricted to these 5 spaces. These circles, by the way, is what I'm going to use to indicate that a number is going to be here in the final puzzle, but I haven't decided what that number is yet. So, given that those are going to be the numbers, then what's going to happen, let me erase the little notes here, is that we know that the 5 is going to be fixed into this little 5 unit of island. And so using Nurikabe rules, we can now fill in all the cells that are adjacent to both the 5 and these other unknown islands. And then we can start seeing, well, our C has to get out here. Well, that kind of forces that number to be a 1. And everything has to get out here, and this has to get out here. And then there's probably some sort of, there's that 2x2 rule forces an island piece there, which means this guy has to get out. And so far so good. So now let's see, what else can we do here? We have this little guy. If he's some other number, if he's a 1, we could block that out. If he's a 2 or larger, he's going to come out. I think it's going to be more interesting if he comes out. So let's try to make him come out here, and maybe come out one more space. And every time when you create a puzzle, once you set down the number, then you can sort of block out everything around it. So for this case, if I say I want to stop right here because it seems useful to force some black things there by logic, I'm going to make him a 3. So that blocks that out, which blocks that, which opens a cell here, which means our gate has to come out, something like that. And so what else can we do here? Well, this guy needs to join to something. I could either put a number somewhere around here for him to join to, or I can say, well, let's just keep on forcing him out and see where he goes. And since we sort of want to create more pressure over here, I could make this a 1 and block that off, but let's make this something bigger than a 1. So he comes out over here. And in fact, let's sort of keep on forcing this out and see how far we can push this. Oh, now this is interesting. We can sort of create this large snake and see what happens. It may be time this guy has to come out here, and this might be a good time to, well, let's squeeze out one more here. Okay, that just closed him off. That makes him a 3. And so we just have to figure out what we're going to do over here. I think it might be interesting if we make this guy stop right about here. So I'm going to give that number there. So that'll force the rest of the arrangement. And note that here I haven't even figured out what these numbers are, but this is going to be 5 spaces. So that's a 5. That's 5, 10, 14. So that's a 14. It's kind of nice to have a big number in a Nurikabe puzzle. So there we go. I think we have a design puzzle. Now let's go ahead and test it and see if it's solvable. So I have a 1 here, a 5, a 5, a 3, and a 14. already my little sense of aesthetics going, oh man, why is this a 14? All these are odd numbers and this is an even number. But you know, if I was trying to make this look even prettier, I would probably try to see if I could turn this into an odd number. But for now, let's just run with it. So when I actually solve a Nurikabe puzzle, for speed, I actually like using dots for the large connected black space. And so this is the obvious stuff. And this interesting thing is that 14 here isn't a great starting point. You feel like this 14 could go all the way up here, go all the way down here. So it's very much, this puzzle has the starting point, which is where I intended it, which is this 5 over here. So we'll just have to solve it that way. I like drawing little diagonal lines here. That means the islands don't connect, but it helps me see how the black space has to like escape. So that creates our little dot here, and this is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly the same sort of logic that we did in constructing the puzzle. These long chains of Nurikabe is what makes Nurikabe puzzles sort of so fun to solve, as you sort of like find these little snakes that come out. That finishes off that 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And over here we just have to clean that up. That's the same logic we had there before. That 2 by 2 square forces that, which brings that out. And voila, the test seems good. Everything's connected. We seem to have fit our constraints. So I think we have finished constructing this puzzle. Thanks.